You are such a piece of doo-doo. Does this ever happen to you? You're just talking shit to yourself. You're already feeling like crap, and then you talk even more crap to make yourself feel even worse. Well, this is the cycle of negative talking. And apparently, I'm not the only person. Here are 4 things that I have learned that work every single time that really get rid of this negative self-talk habit I have. What is going on? My name is Tony Schiller. I'm a stand-up comedian and entrepreneur. And my mission in life is to empower people like myself and yourself to number 1, spread the good vibes, and number 2, live a life full of passion, fulfillment as well. And negative self-talk is always in our freaking way. Don't tell me that you don't do that. Every single one of us do it, right? We talk shit to ourselves here and there. All of a sudden, we're just having a great day and something happens and it snaps, and then we just start going down the spiral and just start talking shit to ourselves. What is the negative self-talk habit? There are 3 reasons why I've noticed myself why I start talking crap to myself. The number 1 reason I start talking negative to myself is perfectionism. Perfectionism. All right, what the fuck is perfectionism? Perfection does not exist. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. Things are going to be the way it is supposed to be. Perfection is the lowest form of standard. If you think about it, when you're constantly trying to make everything perfect, nothing is ever going to go your way. And I'm very guilty of this idea of perfectionism. In fact, even as I'm filming this YouTube video, you know how long it took me to finally get everything all set up and all that shit, everything's perfect, right? And I'm just like, dude, set up the camera, turn the light on, and let's just record. And guess what happened during the way when I have perfectionism? When I'm trying to make everything perfect, when things are not perfect, I talk shit to myself. You suck. You're so stupid. How could you not figure this shit out? Like, you're such a piece of doo-doo. And then you just go into this negative self-talk, and then nothing freaking happens. And guess what? What is even worse about negative self-talk is when you tell yourself you're a piece of shit, you become a piece of shit, not just an actual piece of shit. But you know what I mean? Like, the more you focus on something, the more you actually become. And then it goes into this loop. You're like, oh shit, I was right. I was a piece of shit, you know? So stop that. Now I'm gonna go over shortly what are some ways that has been very effective for myself. So that's number 1, perfectionism. Now the number 2 common reason why we talk negative to ourselves is social comparison. And of course, the obvious thing is social media nowadays. We're constantly seeing amazing things people are doing, right? Like, dude, who the fuck is going to post the negative stuff online? Once in a while, people post like, negative stuff to be like inspirational stuff. And I'm totally guilty of that, right? Because you know what? Sometimes you gotta be vulnerable. But most of the time, people are only gonna share the good stuff. So when you only see the good stuff, all you see is all these amazing things. Like, all of a sudden, you're like, damn, I suck. You're comparing yourself to some of these unrealistic lives out there. Social media has definitely heightened this. So all of a sudden you start talking negative to yourself, right? So that's number 2 reason. Number 3 is childhood conditioning. Now, every culture is different. Personally, my upbringing, I was never good enough. People joke about this, all right? As Asian Americans, like, you could be a doctor, astronaut, billionaire, the president of the United States, and your parents gonna be like, yo, son, what's next? That goes deep into our subconscious. It takes a lot of work to like dig that shit out and then be able to work on it and heal it. But being aware of it is the number 1 thing you need to do. Maybe just your upbringing, maybe not your parents, maybe your surrounding, maybe your friends, maybe your neighbors, your teachers, whoever. If somebody once says something to you, boom, it sticks. Those are just some of the most common reasons why we have negative self-talks. Now, how do we get rid of it? Well, number 1 is to realize that you're never gonna get rid of it. It's always going to exist, but it's all about how to manage it. This negative self-talk thing is like a freaking troll. Imagine these online trolls, okay? Just come in here and just troll you, right? Just talk shit. How do you manage that? Trolls and shit talkers are always going to be there. It's all about how you manage it. So here are 4 ways that I have personally learned that has been extremely effective for me to get rid of this negative self-talk. Number 1, name the person who is shit talking you. I personally name mine Broski. So it's a person that I can actually talk to and be like, yo, Broski, why don't you just shut up? Right? So I actually have a person, when you personify it, it becomes, number 1, you're separating yourself from it. And then number 2, it's kind of fun, right? So it could be Karen, Broski, Doo-Doo, Shithead, Esmeralda, whatever name you want. Name it, right? Give it a personality, all right? So you can visualize, yo, you're actually talking to another person or another person talking shit to you, not you talking to yourself. That has personally helped me. If you like this video so far, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. So the number 2 way that have really worked for me to get rid of these negative self-talk is changing your physiology. I'm talking about as simple as the next time you notice that you're telling yourself, hey, why do you suck? Okay, just do simple as this. broski suck. I'm freaking awesome. Okay? As simple as it. Physical change. Right? Anything like this, you could do this, you can do this, you can stand up and do a Superman pose. This is my favorite thing that I do. It works every freaking time. It's so simple and it's freaking hilarious, okay? This is what I do. I would go to any door or any doorway and I just walk through like this. So what happened there? Number one, moving instead of sitting there or laying down, talking shit to myself. Number two, I am actually physically moving. Number three, the most importantly, I'm creating a different physical and mental state as if I'm walking on stage or walking off stage after a great show. I'm just like, thank you. You know, I don't sound like that, but you know, thank you very much. Thank you, right? You can do this. You can do this. Imagine this crowd cheering for you. And the reason why this works every single time is number one, you're actually like moving your physical body. Number two, you are changing your mental state. And number three, likely you're going to make yourself laugh. When you're laughing, broski ain't talking. That works every time. I would just stand up and just go like, it worked every time. The number three way to get rid of negative self-talk is celebrate the small wins. I always forget to do that. I'm constantly focusing on what is next. I forgot what I have already accomplished. So celebrate a small win. And I'm talking about very simple things. Hey, I woke up today. I answered 2 emails. Maybe you have 100, but who cares? Answering 2 emails is better than 0. Like look back on the accomplishments that you have done today, this week, this month, this past year, this past 5 years. I'm very guilty of that. I'm constantly being harsh on myself. The number 4 thing is to practice gratitude. I'm grateful I get to wake up. I'm grateful I get to go to work. Not I have to go to work. I'm so grateful for my dog, life partner, my family, my health, my wellness, my ability to create content and create a good vibe and share with the freaking world. My ability to make people laugh. But surprise, there's a number 5. The number 5 thing that has helped me get rid of the negative self-talk is to have a mantra, have a mission statement, have something that you can say to yourself that is very simple to remind you that you don't suck. And here's my recent one, and it changes every few years, but here's the most recent one I have, right? I remind myself, I'm human, I'm loved, I'm enough. I'm human, I'm loved, I'm enough. I'm human, I'm loved, I'm enough. Okay, you see how I'm just already smiling and laughing? I'm reminding myself that number 1, I'm human, I make mistakes, I'm not always gonna feel motivated, okay? I'm loved unconditionally. I don't have to accomplish shit to be loved. Everything else I'm doing is to live for fulfillment. I'm enough, you're enough. Okay, just existing is enough. Everything else we're just doing for the good vibes. Those are the 5 things that I have personally learned that work every single time. It has been very effective. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's share the good vibes and feel the thriller, okay? Thank you so much. Peace. See you next time.